Good evening, good almost morning. Welcome to Addicted to Astrology 2021. I haven't made an official episode, even though I did make an episode yesterday, just to say Happy New Year in the calendar year, and let you check out my new backdrop that my lovely daughter gave me. Shout out to Milan. It is still Capricorn season, so I am playing the multi-millionaire, maybe I think, Ray J. Not really into a lot of celebrities these days, but some of these Capricorns I'm still rocking with, especially honorable mention, Mac Miller, rest in peace. LL Cool J, he's a powerful celebrity Capricorn. You know, but things are changing. Capricorn is kind of the structured, same old traditional, and we're moving into the age of Aquarius, which is the new. So I'll save Aquarius artists coming up soon, just in like a little bit over a week. But yeah, we are talking about the new moon in Capricorn, so that means new things. That means a new start, a new journey, new intentions to manifest into the new days ahead. So, actually, Capricorn moon is my moon. I'm grateful for this moon. My Capricorn moon, I believe, is at 24 degrees, so it's really close to this new moon, the 23rd degree. Okay, so the sun is in 23 degrees Capricorn, the moon is in 23 degrees Capricorn, and they of course are conjunct Pluto, still in Capricorn at 24 degrees. They are still in close conjunct to Saturn and Jupiter that has left Capricorn and are now in Aquarius. The way the music is setting right on me saying Aquarius, that's like the new. Okay, so we're talking all new. This is a powerful new moon. This is my new moon, and I'm claiming it. I've already been manifesting up until this point, and I'm ready to take off. I'm ready to take off into this new era, this new age of Aquarius, the sign after Capricorn, the sign that elevates Capricorn. Yes, I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between both of the signs. Kind of like how Ray J bounces back and forth between women. Not anymore because he's a married man, but let me leave that alone. I love Ray J. I love his music. That's why I chose. He has very few songs, but that's why I chose him, because he has very few songs and has many other means of getting power and getting finances and everything in order. And that is definitely what Capricorn has taught us, especially over the year 2020. And now that we're in 2021, we're ready for our wishes to come true. If not one, all of them. Let's get ready to manifest, y'all. So I do have a post now. Ben had the ring light for about a month. And again, I have a new backdrop. And I'm sitting in a different part of my room. Recreating the other side as well. So we're going to do it. We're going to do some new things with Addicted to Astrology. Definitely coming soon and starting now. All right, because this moon in Capricorn, let me just backtrack really quick before I go over my notes. Every 2.5 days, the moon changes, right? So the moon was in Sagittarius because it's actually been in Capricorn for 2 nights now. And I believe it will be in Aquarius tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. Excuse me. So let's just go back 5 days ago, when it was in Scorpio. And I'm trying to tie this in because Pluto is conjunct Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter. Because even though Saturn and Jupiter are in Aquarius, they're still in the early degrees of Aquarius. And I'll show you on the wheel. We're going to actually look at the wheel today too, and I'm going to point out a few things as well. But Pluto is conjunct the moon and sun in Capricorn. The sun and the moon in Capricorn are 23 degrees. And the minutes are still under 30, so they're at 23 degrees. And Pluto is at 24 and 36, so they're still really conjunct. They're not too many degrees apart. It has to be between 2 point something degrees to not be so exact, okay, of a conjunction. Conjunction means their energies are blending. So you're blending sun with your overall personality or the overall collective, because we're not talking about individually, we're talking about collective. The sun is your overall, the overall energy over the collective is Capricorn right now. The moon is the emotion. The emotions are overall in a Capricorn way. So I'm a moon in Capricorn. I do have a little structure to me. Can be a little cold and emotionalist. Have gone through the, what do you call it, the valleys and the mountains and the valleys. I know it's something else. And the plateaus and the valleys. And it's time to come out on top. So you're exalted in Aquarius. You are making what the things you've learned and structured and planned out and done traditionally are going to take an exaltation and evolution in Aquarius. So, back when it was on Scorpio moon, that's where I was going. Scorpio moon makes you overly passionate, overly intense. And I had a whole falling out with my kids where I realized that I have some transforming to do so that they can transform. Not gonna get too much into that. We hugged it out. It didn't, it didn't do exactly what I wanted to do for them, but it definitely helped me realize the things I need to work on with myself so that I can transform my kids, transform myself. Time that into Pluto, because Pluto rules Scorpio. Pluto deals with the same thing Scorpio deals with: intensity, power, rebirth, and death. So transforming their depth, secrets, okay? So all these energies in Capricorn have a lot to do with the transformation that needs to be done over the collective, all right? Aquarius has to do with information age. We are going into the information age. Aquarius is an air sign. It's a lighter energy. All the air signs have to do with communication or messages or information of some sort amongst people. Gemini has to do with duality information, communication between two people or man, woman. Libra has to deal with relationships, communicating relationships. Aquarius has to deal with humanity, everybody, groups, dealing with information and how we how we communicate. So we must learn what fits us. So if it isn't each other anymore, speaking in Aquarius terms, that's okay. Time to meet new friends. Time to build new relationships. Time to give new information. Time to receive new information. If you don't like any information you're getting from somebody anymore, that's okay. Time to learn what is best for you individually. Even me, today, I definitely let somebody go for the 100th time. And it's still okay to come back. It's still okay to come back, but it's okay to let go. New moons have to do a release because you're releasing to welcome into new things. Releasing even older relationships to come into new relationships. Okay? So anything you attempt during a new moon, especially a Capricorn or Aquarius new moon, has to deal with changing. Well, not has to do with changing, but these new moons have to do with transformation. Or anything, especially on this new moon, because it's conjunct with Pluto, has to do with transformation. It can bring powerful influence over anything you manifest, especially things that have to deal with rebirth or transforming. especially things that have to do with something you're passionate about, okay? Because Pluto's energy is blending with this moon and this sun. So also, because you're rebirthing from Pluto, it has to do with the root chakra, so you have to go dig deep. The root chakra is at the bottom, at the feet. You have to dig deep to see where you need to rebirth from, to see where you need to start over from. Dealing with transformative energy, you have to start from the root. And I know this personally, that I've been going back into my childhood memories to get to the bottom of things for at least about a year or two, probably 2 years now. So it's a lot to take in with the new moon. Let's get off the new moon for a second and let's talk about 2 other planets that are gonna be going head in head starting now in 2021. Okay, I felt like it was a little too close and I just wanted to angle this a little bit differently. All right, so old systems are out of the way of new systems. That's what this whole Capricorn and Aquarius energy is about, especially the planets that rule them. So Saturn is rules Capricorn, and Uranus rules Aquarius. Saturn is the old version of Uranus. Saturn is the old world. Uranus is the new world. Excuse me. Saturn has to deal with structures, world, government, masculinity, authority, especially male figures like grandfathers. Uranus has to deal with rebellion, revolution, surprise. It has to deal with new parts of life that we may thought we've never thought about. New ways, new traditions, new government, new experimental things in life, technology. Again, I said this in a previous episode that back in 1980 to 2000, we were previewed our conjunction in the air signs of Libra. So that brought in the internet, the social media, and all those kind of things between 1980 and 2000s. Music videos, all those kinds of things. So now that after 2000, we went back into conjunction. Saturn and Jupiter stayed in Capricorn. So we had the Earth conjunction again, not Capricorn. Was it? I can't remember what it was. Taurus, maybe? It was an Earth sign. Anyway, then it came out of Capricorn, going back into, so it had to be in Capricorn. I'm losing my mind, y'all. It came out and went back into Aquarius. So long story short, Capricorn is tradition, laws, police, politics, and Aquarius evolves from that. It evolves from police to policing yourself, possibly. It evolves from old laws to new laws, old politicians to new politicians. We have I told them I was trying to record. Excuse me. All right, so Aquarius evolves the old things that Capricorn had, the old traditions. I think I've said that. So the new information that's coming in from Aquarius helps us awaken to the new potential in life. And things we never realized we can do are coming in play. So it is the Great Awakening. It has to do with, wow, we never knew that this was going on. But now that we see what's going to happen from this, we're cool with it. Okay? It's not going to be a bad thing. It's not going to be a bad breakaway. Okay? This new moon is setting off all the things that are coming, all the squares, all the conflict that's going to creatively create something great from the conflict, right? So even though there's several squares that are happening between Saturn and Uranus in the year 2021. That is just the old still trying to break away from the new. It's going to take a minute because it hasn't even hit everybody yet. It'll hit this week. It'll hit within a week. What's today? The 13th now because it's after midnight. Yep. 7 days away from the 20th. And we all around the world knows what happens on January 20th. All right, so these are new levels of life we never realized we're gonna rethink and relearn and redo based on the old tradition of Capricorn. So there's nothing wrong with the old tradition for most. Some it is, and that's why I go back to saying it is now time to learn what is best for us. Here, be open to, I can't stress this enough, it's time to be open to new information. It's time to be open to and embrace these nodes. Before I get into that, Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius and Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is going to go direct this week. I normally would do this at the calendar so I can break down each day, but there's so much to talk about between this Capricorn and Aquarius energy, this Uranus and Saturn energy, that I need to just move on with what I have. We're going to go to the wheel today so you all can see. I keep calling it the wheel. I know that's not the name for it, the chart, y'all. It's shaped like a wheel, shaped like a circle. I know that I want to just hit those things, and we'll get back to the calendar as soon as possible. I'm actually sprucing up the calendar. Anyway, when Uranus, the planet of rebellion, revolution, change, surprise, goes direct. Now, I've said this before. Uranus will do what it wants. It doesn't matter if it's retrograde or if it's direct. But now that it's direct, with the energy from Aquarius coming from those two strong, the biggest and the oldest planets, Jupiter and Saturn, the planet that has to do with the world, Saturn, is in Aquarius, that is ruled by Uranus, and the planet Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system, is also in Aquarius, being ruled by Uranus. Those three planets and their energy are going to set us into this new age of Aquarius. Okay? Not only that, when it goes direct tomorrow on Friday, on Thursday, I'm sorry, today is Wednesday, the 13th now, at midnight. We're only a few minutes in. Some people are still in January 12th. We're on the East Coast time. So the military, I'm in Washington, D.C., for those of you all who don't know. I'm trying to keep this only astrology because I have done gossip on this channel. I have done Great Awakening information on this channel, but I try to tie it in. I try to tie it into astrology because astrology is what is really real to people, and some other things can be dogmatic, and I'm getting ready to get into that. But Uranus goes direct on January 14th, conjunct Mars. So Uranus is in Taurus. Mars just moved into Taurus. I'm going to show you at the wheel. Mars is only in 2 degrees in Taurus, and Uranus is in 6 degrees in Taurus. But Uranus was going retrograde, so now I can move forward. Okay? It moves slow, though, anyway. It's one of the outer planets. So, with this conjunction, those blended energies, the rebellion planet and the planet of action and war, Mars, we're talking military, folks. We're talking the military is here, and they're probably going to strike in the next day or two, okay? This could be the start of the rebellion with Uranus and Saturn world government battle. The battle between the old and the new. The battle between Saturn, the old world, and Uranus, the new world. But it's not a bad thing, okay? It's exciting to me. It may be scary to some others, but it's not a bad thing. So I don't want to put, I'm not a fear monger. I don't like fear mongers, okay? All of us have Capricorn and Aquarius in our charts. So not only are we talking about the collective, we're talking about us individually. We're going to be going to battle with a lot of things. I battled myself. I'm a huge reality show fan. And now it's all turning me off. Last night I had to turn it off. I was trying to catch up with all my shows. I'm about to call the cable company and cut cable off. That's how disgusted I am with certain reality shows. There's only one that I want to watch now, and I used to watch every single one of them. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted with the old traditional, old ways, old storylines of these reality shows. That's just me, for example, and that's the battle I'm having with myself. My old traditional TV shows versus now I'm listening to podcasts, watching civilian news, creating civilian news. All right. 119, January 19th and January 20th are going to be the most intense days of the year. And we just started the year, y'all. But we just came from an intense year too. We just came out of an intense year. It dragged itself on in here. Don't even worry about the years. Worry about yourself. Let's just skip over the year part. Let me just give you what's happening. In about 5 or 6 days, 7 days, is the inauguration. Okay? Now, I have made bets on this inauguration. Let's just talk off topic. Because of astrology, because of the research I've done, because of the people and the new people I'm connecting with, the people that I got so excited, my shirt popped up, and so, hi, y'all have fun with that. But the new friends I've created, the new connections I've created, the new people I'm aligning with, the new things I'm seeing in astrology, this episode right here showed me, and I'm going to show y'all on this wheel, we need to check out these nodes. We need to check out these nodes because the North Node is in Gemini, which is another air planet, giving you information, bringing that new information in, new points of views, ways to research, because Gemini's investigators like Scorpios. That's why we, even though we're not supposed to, that's the only thing we click on is some information. So I'm down with it. I'm down with this North Node in Gemini, okay? I want to ask questions. I want to know what's up. I want to research. A lot of you all get in this mode too, because a lot of y'all are coming to me because I'm, yeah, that one. But it's time to have an open mind. If you feel like you need to have an open mind, go for it. Embrace it. If you feel like you want to ask some questions, ask them. If you feel like you are destined to wake up, wake the F up. Okay? Neptune, before I go into the South Node. Neptune is squaring these nodes, so there's conflict. Neptune is in Pisces. Neptune is my least favorite planet. Pisces is my least favorite sign. Even though Pisces and Scorpios are water signs and we're supposed to click. When it's in its home side of Neptune, I don't appreciate how impossible it is to understand all this information that I want to get from the North Node. Right? Why can't I research and find the truth? Why do I got to figure out who's truth and who's lying? That's Neptune's ass. Why do I got to ask questions and wonder if this person I'm asking is out to get me or joined with me? You know what I'm saying? Do y'all feel me on this? Because I know we're all at this point right now. The nodes have to deal with the collective, especially, and only, unless it's on your birth chart, okay? North Node is currently in Gemini. So those being born right now, some of y'all that were born at other times when the North Node was in Gemini, like back in the 90s, I think it was in 2012 too. Actually, it was in Sagittarius. It was the other way around. Anyway, it's impossible to see the truth right now out of any of the information we want from the North Node because it's squaring Neptune and Pisces. Thanks a lot. Sagittarius, usually a positive, free-going, higher level thinking sign. And only because it's placed in the South Node is the reason why it's not that way. It's not that positive. It's not that free. Okay? Any Sagittarius will tell you they stay positive. They might get a little uncouth with their mouth, but it's all free-flowing. It's how everybody could learn from and be sometimes. Positive, free thinkers, higher level thinking, you know, travelers, global. But when it's in the South Node, it's in a shadow. It's in its karma. It's in its life lesson learning point. And Sagittarius doesn't like to be here. It stops travel. Clearly. I gotta get to the West Coast still, y'all. I have been gone and left my stuff in Las Vegas for a year and 3 months now. Because the South Node is Sagittarius. Can't travel long distance. Only short. Can't have no freedom. We're still on lockdown, and we're about to be on lockdown for a little bit while everybody gets this higher level thinking, open-mindedness together, great awakening together. There's no free thinking. It's only one-sided answers in South Sagittarius in the South Node. It's censorship. Y'all see how this is connecting to what really is going on right now? Everything you think of a Sagittarius is being on lock right now. And I know, especially Sagittarius has feel this. I know, because I have a Sagittarius in Mercury. I hate for somebody to shut me up. I hate for that. And this is where we are right now. However, what's so funny is that the nodes change every 18 months. So when the nodes change and go into, because they stay in retrograde, y'all. They stay in retrograde, so they're going backwards. Okay, so if the North Node is in Gemini, it's going to the sign previous, which is Taurus. And the sign previous before Sagittarius is your Scorpios. So, Scorpio in that South Node. Y'all think y'all ready for the Great Awakening? The Great Awakening really doesn't even start until Scorpio hits that South Node. We won't find out no secrets. We think we know the secrets, and we do know a lot. Those of you who are hip and those of you who are halfway woke, like myself, because I ain't all the way woke. When that South Node hits Scorpio, yeah. Scorpio is all about intensity again, right? So we're talking intense, dark, deep secrets, obsessions, anything that has to do with death, sex. We're talking about all that stuff. See, as a Scorpio, it's always hard. That's why we're so secretive and dark, and mysterious, because it's hard to get out the intensity of things that we're thinking about all these things we think about. That's why we're a water sign too. All these things that we're thinking about that's happening to children, human trafficking and things like that, are going to come out in 2022 when those nodes change to Taurus in the North Node and Scorpio in the South Node. But the positive thing about that is that Taurus will bring our finances up. So believing that Nassar Jassar, I just tied all that politics and the astrology all in together. Research all that. And remember, I said this on January 12th, 2021. So we can go back on this episode and check out exactly what I said about this in, let's say, a year. All right. I think I'm going to end here with this so we can check out the chart, the current chart of the new moon. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, I thought I was done with my video. I was talking to myself. This new technology, we're still working it out. All right, let's start from the get-go. So, this is the new moon chart for January 12th, 2021 on a Tuesday. It is on Pacific Standard Time because I have borrowed this from Coyote Astrology. Shout out to her. She definitely inspired this episode today. She's in Los Angeles, California, which is where all my stuff is. And I'm going to talk about that really quick when we get to the node part of this. But it is now January 13th on the East Coast where I'm at. So, still the new moon. However, we're still in the January 12th on the West Coast. Now, I'm going to start with Venus really quick because Venus has Been talked about for a while. She's just entering Capricorn at 5 degrees. We talked about that last episode. Let me skip over all those because I'm going to come back. We're going to talk about the 5th house and the 8th house today. I'm going to touch on houses today, y'all. Mercury, who just entered Aquarius, will be going into retrograde and coming back into Capricorn. In the next couple of weeks, she'll be going into her dark period soon, too. Mercury is the messenger. Mercury is ruled by Gemini, which is another air sign. However, she's an Aquarius, which is also an air sign. So get ready to go through this informational age. Mercury, when it goes into retrograde, will relearn everything that it has to deal with Capricorn. Again, the Aquarius and Capricorn energy, the old world and the new world. When Mercury comes back in, she will relearn the planet of communication and learning and messaging. She will relearn some things because that's what retrogrades are about. Anything that has to do with the prefix re. But in an air sign, because they all have to do with communication, okay? And because Mercury is ruled by an air sign, this is definitely about the informational age. This is definitely about the Great Awakening. This is definitely about, because Aquarius deals with humanity and the betterment of humanity, this is definitely how we're going to receive this new information coming in, this Great Awakening. And the only way, our thinking will change. But the only way our thinking will change, the only way we will awaken and receive this information open-mindedly is if we allow it. Okay, if we allow the better. It will happen over the collective if you are defiant against it. If you're still stuck in these old traditional Capricorn ways, you can't excel. So this is a good thing, okay? This Mercury retrograde is actually going to be a good thing. It's going to help us relearn some of these things that we didn't know about, that we're getting ready to wake up about, that these two planets have been fighting over, okay? The planet Saturn, these two signs, Capricorn and Aquarius, have been fighting about, okay? That's Mercury. We also have the nodes in opposition. The nodes are both at 19 degrees and 39 minutes. The nodes are Sagittarius in the south node, Gemini in the north node, okay? The nodes switch every 18 months. We're about at the 7th or 8th month, so we're almost at that mid-mark, the Middle Ages, which is why they're at 19. 19 is the second realm, the second decan, as they call it, the last degree. Think of this like as your teenage years. Think of this as when you're grown but not grown, okay? However, let's start with the positive first, okay? Remember, when it's in Gemini, we're thinking of the new information coming in. We're excited about having an open mind, learning new things, okay? Remember, with the South Node, there's going to be a lot of restriction, and Sagittarius does not like restriction. Sagittarius likes freedom. We're learning this, remember, okay? As it goes backwards, and we get to the point where it's changing, it'll have relearned things all the way to the point where we've relearned and we've worked out. And this karma that comes from the Sagittarius will definitely, the Sagittarius North Node will definitely work its kinks out and be ready to move on with the secret telling coming in 2022. All right, Saturn, which is here at 5 degrees in Aquarius in 36 minutes, is squaring. Let me see if I can find for y'all. Squares, these red lines, you see the square right there. Uranus. And we said this is going to happen all year long. So Saturn's at 5 degrees. And they both, Saturn is like the oldest planet, but it still moves quicker than Uranus. However, Uranus, again, is the new world. So it needs to move slowly. We can't rush everything in, right? But these two are squaring. At both fixed signs. Taurus is a fixed earth sign. Aquarius is a fixed air sign. So this is like dry old air being conflicting but transformed, rebelled against, right? With the groundbreaking new soil, even though it's fixed earth. It's groundbreaking, okay? All right, that's what I said about that. Mars. Oh, actually, I'm going to work on these houses now. Mars is up there. That's the 8th house, but I want to say the 8th house for last, the best for last. 5th house and 8th house have to deal with the 5th signs and 8th signs. So this part of the chart is called the houses, where the numbers are. And each space is where these planets and signs are falling. So the 5th house I chose because it has so many in it, of course. And the 8th house has a big surprise I want to tell you about. So here, the sun, the moon, Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn are all in the 5th house, okay? They would be within the lines. I'm going to interpret that because the 5th house has to deal with all things Leo, fun, childlike things, drama, excitement. This, even though I spoke on it in a little bit of, it might not sounded good, even though this is a great awakening. This is going to be a fun great awakening, okay? It's going to be a positive. It's going to be all right. It's not going to be a challenge. It's going to be more like a gamble, okay? Again, it opposes, the 5th house opposes the 11th house. Leo opposes Aquarius. When you get to the 11th house, that's when you're really dealing with, and you've grown and you've elevated from the fun to getting serious about your relationships. And it's more, over here, it's more about just you individually funning through this, okay? And that's a good thing, okay? Because this should be painless. This great awakening, even though it's going to be shocking based on Uranus squaring Saturn, the old world squaring the new world. It's still going to be fun. It's going to be like a great getaway vacation in the 5th house and the time of your life, okay, or the manifestation thereof. So this week, 5th house energy, we're excited with the dramatics, okay? Some of us that are already awake, we're like, wow, what's the news going to be today? Wow, we can't wait till what next week, all the stuff this is about to bring. And some of us are a little shocked and scared, but it's okay. We know it's going to be okay. Some of us are not aware at all yet, so we definitely are in this point because we're not aware either, okay? Let's talk about the 8th house, the Scorpio house. Mars is actually home in the 8th house, okay? Because Mars also rules Scorpio. So does Pluto. And the 8th house rules Scorpio. Chiron is in the 8th house, the great healing asteroid. This is another asteroid. I'm not sure what the symbol is for it, though. Did I say that there was not a lot of fire on the chart? Everything is in earth signs or air signs. Capricorn is earth. Aquarius is air. There's a little bit of water. Pisces, and this is another asteroid. Neptune, I'm sorry, is in Pisces. That's the only water. This is an asteroid, so it doesn't count. These are asteroids in the Aries. This is a fire sign, but these are not planets. So there's not a lot of energy. Taurus is all, this is the Lilith, the black moon. Taurus is in Uranus and Mars, so that's another earth sign, okay? So we don't have any planets in fire sign until we get to Aries season in March. So we have a while. When you don't have fire, there's really no push. It's slow moving. But we need slow moving. We need slow awakening so that it can be fun and not burn us out too quick, if that makes sense. All right, but Mars and Chiron in the 8th house to me is the best part because Uranus has just left the 8th house. I'm sorry, no, it hasn't because it's retrograde. It would be coming into the 8th house, but it's not. But it's telling us, like, those in the 8th house that there's good times coming because Ninth house represents Sagittarius, freedom, higher level thinking, positivity. So we're excited, okay? Especially because it's conjunct with Mars. And Mars has to deal with action taking. Could be aggressive, but the action taking is what I want to talk about with this. Let's stay positive. Chiron, the great healer, has to do with healing. So my interpretation on this is take action on healing from these dark secrets that the 8th house brings, okay? I was talking about Uranus when it goes direct in a day on tomorrow, on the 14th. Uranus will help push that military out, conjunct Mars, in order to heal the babies who are being found from child trafficking. I'm tying this a little bit into the children that are missing. Please give me 5 minutes. Then transforming from this house, because the 8th house has to do with transformation. Transforming from what we heal and what we take action on. The 8th house also has to deal with money owed, okay? So healing from Chiron comes from the root generally, so we are healing from some money issues from the root, and I'm going to tie this back in to all this. But just healing from 2020 alone with money owed, because 8th house, again, has to do with money owed. This is why this is so exciting, y'all, because I talk about the Nasara Jasara on my platforms. Healing from money owed back even from when we were born, because we've been lied to a lot in our lives. And we're about to find that out in the Great Awakening. And the Great Awakening is going to help us take action on the money owed. Since from back in the day, from the root, from the beginning. 8th house. And the Sardasar. That's happened from the Great Awakening. That happened even from the full moon back in Gemini. No, I'm sorry, Cancer. 2 weeks ago. When the Insurrection Act was signed and the Dasara started way back even in Virgo season. That's when it started. But it's all just part of the Great Awakening. And the money owed part, I'm talking when we wake up, we're going to see how much we've missed out on since birth. I had this in the first time I recorded this, and I had this worded better. I'm trying to word this because this is huge. The 8th house with Chiron in it, and Mars is taking action on the money owed, y'all. A lot of us need to check our credit, see how it's improved. A lot of us need to expect some money, have no money worries, because it's getting ready to heal. It's getting ready to come in with this Great Awakening. Okay? So y'all get ready. Thank you for tuning in to Addicted to Astrology with TMZ, the first full-fledged episode of 2021. Hope y'all had a great time tonight. Y'all enjoyed this new moon. Please manifest. I'm getting ready to manifest this money owed, honey. Because I already started manifesting it 2 years ago. And if y'all notice from my premium bundles, I like to throw that out there all the time. Shout out to the House of Bundles in Baltimore. No, they didn't pay me. I just love this hair. So I'm making my transformation. I'm getting my finances in order. And y'all watch or join me. Or both. TMZ, teaching everyone abundantly, empowering many. Zakia, enlightening every day. Y'all stay sweet.